Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football, presented by PJ's Coffee, coming to you from our studio up here on Veterans Memorial Boulevard. Next door to my guy, Matt Bowers, Ford dealership. He's got dealerships all up and down this road, all over the region. If you're looking for a new car, make sure you check out Matt at one of his many locations. They'll give you a great deal on a pre-owned or new car, whatever you need. They'll make your dreams come true. We are coming to you from the Oshner Andrews Sports Medicine Institute podcast studio. And if you want to celebrate your fandom beyond the field, Keesler Federal is proud to be the official credit union sponsor of the New Orleans Saints. They're a not-for-profit organization, meaning that you always come first. As one of their members, you can enjoy better fees, lower rates, and everything else Saints fans need to get you one step closer to living your dreams. All right, our first topic today is presented by Aaron Rose. We're going to go over the most promising and most disappointing aspects of the Saints season. I guess let's start with the promising aspect of it and save the negativity for the back half.
It's how many rookies have played and played valuable minutes. I worry about sugarcoating this, though, because I don't know how good any of these guys are going to be. I don't know if Tyler Shough is going to be the long-term starting quarterback for the Saints. I don't know if Danny Stutzman or Jonas Sanker or Quincy Riley or Devin Neal or Devon Vele, who's a second-year player, obviously, but a newcomer to the Saints. I don't know if these guys are going to be future Pro Bowlers or future top 10 players on the team. But I like that we're getting a look at them, at least. It makes me feel better about the rookie class, even though this rookie class might not actually be better than past rookie classes. But all the Zach Bonds and Caden Ellis's and these guys in the past, you know what? Maybe the Saints would have discovered something if they forced them onto the field and got a look at them. So I like that they have used this year to take a big draft class, a bigger than usual Saints draft class, and almost all of them have gotten on the field and are getting evaluated and are getting to start and are getting a head start on maybe becoming something.
For me, I think the most promising thing that we've seen out of this year, and this could come into play if they're around for a few years or indefinitely or whatever. This is a nuanced take because it's not about the coaching overall. It's not a global coaching take. It's not a play calling take. A very specific aspect, though, of this coaching staff where I think they've really exceeded is that they have gotten the quarterbacks to play better than I think we probably expected both of them to play. And there's a level of competency and development there that I think we're seeing. And I think, yeah, it can be way better. It can be way better earlier in games. But I think we've seen like the nuggets of some things that make me believe that specific to that position, they know how to coach it. I don't know how far that takes Tyler Shough. I don't know. I think the biggest question facing this organization is it is it age or experience? Like if it's 3 years of experience and the age doesn't matter, then they're probably in great shape at quarterback. But if you're 26 and you get 3 years of experience, is it the same as a 21-year-old getting 3 years of experience? I think that's the question that they got to figure out there overall. If they end up drafting another one at some point, I wouldn't feel bad about handing him to these people in terms of like developing him as a mechanical passer. And I think that's probably been one of the things that they've done okay at this year. And I find that to be at least like a glimmer of light somewhere in the darkness of like what this whole thing is right now.
Well, all of my negatives are about the offense and the offensive coaching staff. So, I mean, that is the one glimmer of hope, but they need to prove that not only can they develop them mechanically, but they can surround it like that. I don't know, give them an offense where it's not 2nd and 10 every week and they're not down 14-0 every week. But we'll get to the negatives in a minute.
Though. They look like they know how to read. They look like, they Spencer Rattler in particular, I think is where you see like the difference between how they were operating and everything. And Shough has come in and he's given them, it's a puncher's chance. And it's not because of like everything else. It's because he's gotten a little bit better in the pocket. He's gotten a little bit better at making the right decision, not throwing the ball away, not speeding himself up too much. And I got to give some credit to the coaches for that.
I think I could list both Rattler and Shough in an exceeded expectations column. I honestly could. I mean, the whole premise of this lead topic is I don't think we're shocked that they're a 2-10 football team. I mean, I know I picked them to win 5 games, but when I did it, I predicted them to start like 1-8 and win and go 4-4 in the second half when I looked at the schedule and I figured they'd come along. So the team itself has kind of honestly met my expectations. We'll get to the areas that disappoint me in a minute. But I would think Rattler in the first half of the season and Shough in the second half of the season are both probably above what I expected. Slightly, not overwhelmingly, but I think that's fair to say that the young quarterbacks look ready for the moment.
We're going to talk about him more later, but I think one guy that his slid from most disappointing to promising is Devon Vele too. Like,
in a week, in a half, half.
He went from like, this is the worst thing they've ever done to like, oh, this, okay, all right, maybe there's something here. I think him and Shough have like real chemistry that I think is showing up and playing well, but I'd throw him on that category too.
No, that's fair. Time for most disappointing?
You can go to most disappointing, yeah.
If I have to, look, I've got more than one candidate, so I'll make sure we discuss them all, but I won't say a bunch at once in case I'm taking one of yours. So if I had to boil it down to one, it's the run game. Yeah. I thought the run game would be good for a number of reasons. I thought they had most of their talent on the offensive line and at running back. I thought Kellen Moore was going to come in here with a plan of, hey, I know what I have, and I have to protect my quarterbacks by giving them a run game and not asking them to do it all by themselves. And I thought Kellen Moore specifically would be good at running the football. I knew it wasn't going to be Saquon Barkley 2.0 here, but he just had a 2,000-yard rusher last year. So I expected this to be a team that patiently relied on the run game and didn't like throw its quarterbacks to the wolves. And they are averaging 3.6 yards per carry. Last year, I think it was the best thing that Clint Kubiak and his staff did. They came in here and they had the exact same scenario. And they're like, well, let's make our run game good so that we can protect our quarterbacks. And their run game was very good. It was Alvin Kamara's best year in 3 or 4 years last year. And now they've gone back to wasting Alvin Kamara. Some of it is the offensive line play, certainly, and Eric McCoy's injury. But I'm hugely disappointed that they don't seem to have a good plan for the run game. Some of the things that are working, they go away from, like the outside zone. They don't, have the quarterback near center and play off the run game with play action. The run game's a liability. It feels like it's 2nd and 10 every time we watch a snap on this football team.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I think for me playing into that, it's just kind of the same basket of thought process is I think the offensive line has been the biggest disappointment to me overall. And yeah, there's just nobody that I'm like, yes, this is the anchor of the team. Like that was the thing that it was supposed to be, is that we were going to see these two tackles and they were going to be the anchors and it was going to be great and they were going to build on it, and they still might, but I don't see anything right now where I'm like, this is the foundation of the team and you lay everything on top of them. I think they've just been okay. Fuaga's been hurt a lot. Banks has been up and down, more promising than not, but yeah, it isn't. Here's the investment in the team, and it's paid off. Yeah. It's still. You're looking at this draft, and it's like they could justify an offensive line pick within the first 35 picks. Yeah. And it could
justify. It might be necessary.
It could be
it
two.
Might be necessary.
You know what I mean? Like you could do it that high and kick one of these guys in or what? Like absolutely. Preferably they're able to just go get a guard, but you could go any direction with that, and it wouldn't be, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this. It would be like, this sucks that they're doing it, and I hate it, but I get it. And that's where they exist right now, and we should not be able to have that conversation at all. Because we were talking about the other day, with the Jeremiah Live conversation. They shouldn't be like, I don't know if they should put a running back behind the line right now. That shouldn't be a conversation we should be able to have after everything they've put into it over the last 4 years.
I think Banks is an asset. I think it's possible that Fuaga is still a plus asset. I do feel like his worst games and the grades that if you look at PFF grades and stuff, I think a lot of his worst games have come when he was playing hurt, and then he missed the next game the week after that. So I hope he's still an asset. Worst case scenario, maybe he's your left guard of the future, but hopefully, or right guard of the future, but he's even better if he's their right tackle of the future. And I know Eric McCoy is still a good player. You just, with his injury history, it's hard to count on it. But yeah, they've got two blanks at left guard and right guard right now.
Well, I'm not even suggesting all that though.
For the future.
I don't think calling something a disappointment means that it's ruined or terrible or not good. You can't do anything with it. I just think it's a disappointment in the respect of that we thought they invested all this in it, and their standard should be a top 10 offensive line. They are not a top 10 offensive line. They are well below a top 10 offensive line. That's an incredible disappointment. And you can have pieces you like and all that, and it can still be not that far off, but it's far enough off that it's still a conversation, and it should be impossible to have that conversation when you had, starting the season, a second-round pick and 4 first-round picks. It shouldn't be at a place where it's like, well, they need this, they need that should be done. And the fact that it's not, I'm sorry, that's a massive disappointment. And I think, look, again, this isn't in ruin, but I think if you're looking for things to list as major strikes against the build of this team and how it hasn't come together, that has to be right at the top of that list. And that doesn't mean we don't like Banks, and that doesn't mean we don't like Fuaga, or that McCoy isn't good, or no, I think all those guys are pieces that you want on your team, but they haven't exceeded expectations. I don't look at it, and it's early. Like a year from now, they both might be completely settled in. Fuaga switched sides. Like all this stuff is nuanced. It's in there, but it's just, you don't see the, man, you got your 2 rooks right here and everything sitting in the middle. Like it's just not there yet. And maybe it shouldn't be, but it needs to be quick if this is going to go anywhere.
No, I agree. And then as long as we're staying on the offense, that first 15 play script, the first quarter offense, it adds, it's part of these things. It's because the offensive line and the run game have been disappointments. That's part of it. But 1 touchdown in the first quarter this year, and that is when an offense is usually supposed to be putting its best foot forward. It's been a huge disappointment. I mean, there's so many different ways we can say the offensive planning, everything that we like about this offense has sort of been in like the 2-minute drill or off schedule plays or scramble drills. But when they, and we could also talk about, all right, now it's 2nd and 2 and the next 3 plays are all failures. All right, now you got 1st and goal from the 2 and they're settling for field goals or they're getting shut down. Like anything where you have to have a plan for it. This team doesn't have go-to plays. This team doesn't have go-to plays. And part of that is when you can't rely on your offensive line and your run game, it's hard to have go-to plays.
Yeah, no doubt. I guess my global take on the whole thing is that, I think we're going to get to the end of the season, and I don't know that it feels any better than it did. I don't know where it's headed. I think that's probably my biggest disappointment right now, is that I'm uncertain of the direction that this goes, and it could go up, it could go down. And I don't know that we were ever going to get to the end of this and feel great about it. Yeah. I mean, like the way it's been torn down, you're starting over, you rebuild, and you're probably going to feel uncertain no matter what. But actually living in it now,
it's tough.
Yeah, I think there's less hope than I expected there maybe to be at the end of this year. But we'll see where it goes. All right, moving on. Next topic presented by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Just looking back at the Tyler Shough game, anything that stood out to you, plus, minus, otherwise, from his start last weekend?
I want you to take the lead on this because I'm curious what you saw in your film breakdown. Since the last time we talked about this, it was kind of right after the game, Gut Instinct. But I actually saw someone else do a film breakdown that kind of surprised me. It was Luke McCown, like being all over Twitter all week, defending him on the 2-point conversion interception. And it's surprising because Devon Vele was the star of the game. Was he the player of the game? Was he the hard-hide player of the game?
He was, yeah.
Devon Vele. But Luke McCown was really blaming Vele for that.
That's a play like where if you aren't, I think when you're looking at it on TV, and then when you get the end zone view, you see he drifts off his spot.
Yeah.
And I think when you're looking at it from the TV angle, this is why you have to go back and look at it. And thankfully, we have the ability to see both end zones, like on the consumer product of the film. Like they only give you the one end zone view. Like, so you can really see how he kind of gives up leverage on that route, and he drifts back, and it allows it to get underneath. And like when you look at it on TV, that kind of creates like, it's kind of like being in a fun house a little bit sometimes, especially like even when you're doing pressures, like on TV, when you're watching it, sometimes you'll be like, it was this guy. And then like you get the flatter angle and you're like, oh, wait a minute. So like there's sometimes a funhouse effect from that angle on the TV. So on TV, it looks like very specifically like he threw that thing on his back shoulder, but it's just an optical illusion because like the angle changes and you just kind of see how he drifts up a little bit, and it allows like the guy to get underneath to make the play. I will say this, and it's outside of the film, like Kellen Moore, how he answered those questions, and then once you see it and you realize what actually happened, I have a lot of respect for how he did it because he never pointed a finger at anybody at all. And I think we've been around people before that would have very quickly blamed the wide receiver for that play publicly. And there's really nothing to gain from doing that. And it's just like, let all these people be wrong. And he's just like, nope, he made a good play. He made a good play. And he kind of like, you know, there was a question about it after the game, and he like kind of like his reaction was weird to it. And then once you see like, oh wait, that had nothing to do with Tyler. Like it, so it all like the way he handled that in terms of with his locker room, I thought was like maybe one of his more plus moments as a coach, just with messaging and everything. So,
and what matters in the Tyler Shough grading is what they thought of all the decisions, throws he made. So anyway, I bring that one up to say, I think that was probably his lowest moment of the game. And if they grade that as not even a bad throw and maybe even a good throw and maybe even the right throw, it totally changes how you look at the game. I still hate what he did on 3rd and 1 when he decided to throw that ball away instead of trying to fire it into Chris Olave or keep the play alive and look for another play to assume that you've got another down to live on 4th and 1. What team have you been watching and playing for all year? So that was my least favorite throw, and the tape didn't back that up. And I'm trying to think. One more that we've now gotten to watch from every angle. Sitting up in the press box, and we did not have a good angle on it. We were on the other side of the field, but I did not look at the Chris Olave play as an egregious drop in the moment, as much as, again, everyone who gets to see the close-up view of it on TV. I mean, I heard national analysts, obviously Saints fans, calling it a Chris Olave drop. It looked like it was going to be a tough play to make or whatever, but that was an excellent throw by Shough. Obviously, if Chris Olave does catch that ball, we're all celebrating what a good performance it was from Shough. So I think in general, it was probably a really positive day for him, especially if you are grading those two throws as pluses for him.
Yeah. So with we'll start at the end. I mean, you got to catch that ball, man. Like it went right through his hands. I mean, I think there's probably, look, it's a tough play, but I think there's probably 15 guys in the league that we would expect them to catch that ball standing on their head. And like that's what you got to do if you're that guy. You're that guy in that moment. You make that play. Like that's just kind of what it is. Like, you know, you don't expect Brandon Coleman to catch it. I expect Chris Olave to catch it. I expect that Chris Olave expects Chris Olave to catch that ball. And I would assume he's disappointed by it. Look, a guy falls down in front of him, but he out-tracked him on the ball. Like he did everything better except complete the play, and you got to complete that play to win the game. So that I mean, look, I thought that was a good throw. I thought it was, when you look at it on film, like it looks kind of dangerous. Like, and when you get to the end of it, you're looking at it and you're like, well, if that guy didn't fall, like it's probably broken up and we aren't even talking about the play. But it's a good throw. He challenges him. He makes him track it down the field. If you're going to be aggressive, that's exactly how you want to be aggressive. If you're going to throw a pick, you want it to be a 40-yard pick at the 1-yard line. It almost looked like, you know, when you're watching it on TV again, like you don't get the angle. It's like, oh, he threw that, and like that was dangerous double coverage. The safety didn't have the proper depth, and he lets it rip, and he has a one-on-one. Like I like everything about it, and I like the aggressiveness about it. It's almost an arrogant throw, and I like that he has that arrogance in it.
Yeah.
Really like that decision. The first pick I thought was worse on the second pick. Not the 2-point is like, he got the other one. It's just like he missed the curl, and it's just a terrible throw. Like he just completely misses it. Chris he didn't. He misread it. Chris did what he should have did. Yeah, he missed the throw. What else was I going to say? The third down. Look, the thing he does too often, and it's a plus and a minus, because like he'll leave a pocket, extend the play, and then like he'll hit the throw in the end zone, and then he'll do the same exact thing. Looks like the same action on the third down, and he misses it. One place where I disagree with the fan base big time is on the 4th and 1 run as it being a bad call. Like this has nothing to do with Shough. That's a play around the league that gets converted almost like 85% of the time. Everybody sneaks on 4th and 1. Like I looked it up yesterday on the exclusive podcast for the website, and I don't remember the numbers, but it was like 55 of 68 or something like that have been converted this year. QB runs on 4th and 1. I don't have a problem. Like you should be able to get that. Like you could maybe make the argument, well, their interior lines thinks you shouldn't try it, whatever. Fine. I could agree with you on that, you know, if that's your analysis. But if it's like, that's a horrible call, why are you doing that? I disagree. I just think they didn't execute it. You should be able to do that with a 6'5" quarterback who can run and is big and physical, and you should be able to get it. And they didn't. And I don't know if it's a Shough thing or what. Like, it's a massive bodies in there, but Like I'm not mad at that call.
Yeah.
The whole series is kind of like it all really kind of came down to that 3rd and 1. Like the second down play isn't a bad decision. The 4th down play isn't a bad decision. The 3rd down play, nobody's open. The execution's bad. Like he probably could have held on to it. Maybe had a shot at a out on the outside. Like he didn't give himself a chance at a positive play.
He just bailed on that play.
Yeah,
and then I'll go to 4th down. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has to throw off his back foot, which whatever. Like it's just a bad decision. But overall, I thought it was a really, really plus game. First half, a little conservative in the play calling. I think they just got to open it up and see what he can do. I mean, and he could be a person that soars or throws 4 picks if you just kind of say, hey, go out there and let it rip, start to finish. I was talking to Teron about it, and that was kind of one of his takes too, is that like it's just like it really felt tight until it didn't. And I mean, that's kind of how it's been it's like he's so afraid of calling a game where they have a turnover early and like lose. It's like, dude, you've won 2 games. Like no one gives a shit if you lose.
Yeah.
Like we do not care. No one's going to sit here and rip you for losing a game at this point. We expect you to lose every single game. We just want to see things within the loss that looks like it's progressing towards not losing next year.
And then every time we see them come back in the second half, we all think the same thing. Oh, too bad they didn't play like that the whole game, because then we would have had something interesting to evaluate. It's like they take a pass on the first half. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if they open it up. I mean, it's the most mystifying thing in the world to me that they cannot figure out how to play at the beginning of a game. It makes no sense to me. It just really.
And I look, Kellen Moore did give one. I mean, he gave 2 different answers about tempo this week. And he loves tempo. I mean, it's probably his number 1 most defining trait. But he specifically said you have to earn tempo. And he said you can't just go out there and say we're playing tempo and then throw 3 incomplete passes and you had a drive that lasted 24 seconds. He's like, you need to be able to run the ball and get a couple first downs, and then you can earn the right to play tempo. I don't know if I completely agree with him, but that explains why his plan is to get the ball moving, establish some run, get some first downs, and then go to tempo, and they never get there. They never get there. I mean, they went 3 and out on 4 of their first 5 drives in this game.
It's so bad. It makes no sense. It's baffling. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know how you're like an offensive coach and you can't start a game. Like it's so dumb. Like I sit there and I'm like, all right, well, they start playing well in the second half. Is it because like they practice every week at 150 and like that's when their body clock turns on? Like I don't understand why like the whole thing is. It makes 0 sense to me at all. But like that's where we're at in it, where it's like I'm contemplating the dumbest theories in the world to try to figure it out. We're gonna hit a quick break. We'll be right back. Whether you're an athlete or just trying to stay active, Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute can help get you moving and keep you moving. You'll have access to the highest levels of specialized care, nationally renowned expertise, the latest equipment, and modern facilities, including a convenient walk-in orthopedic clinic when you need care fast. From the field to recovery, Ochsner Andrews Institute is there to help move your healing forward and get you back to what you love. Learn more at ochsner.org/ortho.
Rouse's Markets is voted best grocery store in New Orleans, best grocery store in Baton Rouge, Mississippi, Gulf Coast, Thibodaux, Houma, Hammond, Lake Charles, Mobile, year after year. Thank you for choosing us best grocery store on the Gulf Coast. Number 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
The number 1 grocery store
In Mississippi, Alabama,
Louisiana. 1 million customers a week can't be wrong. Welcome to Rouse's.
I used a home equity loan from Keystone Federal to fix up the garage. Woo! Because living your dream means living your way. And the kids take the field.
It's not even game day.
The NewOrleans.Football show is proudly presented by PJ's Coffee. PJ's Coffee has some of the best drinks that you can find. They have locations all over the city. They have pastries and everything else you need to get your day started. So go check them out. I don't play favorites with our sponsors on the show, but one of my favorites for sure is RV Masters. You guys have been watching our show lately and you've seen our awesome new van. That thing is decked out. And the best part about it is I took it up to RV Masters and I was like, this is what I want to do, but I had no idea how I wanted to do it or how to get it done. And they took care of it from start to finish, brought me out for updates, were giving me new ideas, and they made it exceed my wildest dreams. And they will do the same thing for you. RV Masters offers full service RV, motorhome, and travel trailer repair. They have preventative maintenance and service packages for your RVs, your AC, your generators. They specialize in solar and lithium upgrades, satellite TV, and Starlink. They'll take care of you if you get into a collision. Whatever you need, they got you. And I can speak from experience because they definitely had us on our new van. I cannot vouch for anyone more than I vouch for RV Masters. RV-Masters.com. Go check them out.
I believe it, I can see it. If it's in my sights, I achieve it. Ain't no leaving, no defeating. Show up, complete and repeat it. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get game ready. Play game ready scratch-offs and fast play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Yeah, they want me to quit, I can't stop it. I'm out of this world, I'm like a rocket. And you can never be us. We not afraid of the pressure, cause we good in the clutch. Yeah.
Get game ready. Play game ready scratch-offs and fast play from the lottery. Win up to $100,000. Enter the second chance drawing for a chance to win up to $1 million.
Shough Insurance, the Earhart Agency, is a longtime partner on this podcast, but the truth is, I was advertising them to my friends and everybody I knew long before they ever jumped on this show. And I'm going to tell you why. Every 6 months, my car insurance policy comes up, and every 6 months, I get a call from somebody from there telling me I need to change it or stay where I'm at. They're shopping my policy constantly to make sure I am getting the best possible deal. That means money in the bank. And those are the type of people you love because, look, we all live here. We all know how it is. The insurance rates are out of control. You need somebody watching your back. And they actually really do it. And I was with them before they ever asked me to be with them. So they are people that you need to be doing business with. And if you are going to look up their insurance, make sure you are looking for the Earhart Agency. Those are our guys. There's a lot of Shough insurances. The Earhart Agency is the one you want. I can speak for them. Real life, real support, real good business, real money saved. Call them up today. Shough Insurance, the Earhart Agency. Hardhide flavored whiskey, Ponchatoula strawberry, and Chilton County peaches in your favorite bars, stores, and restaurants. Hardhide Chilton County peach whiskey is a blend of aged wheat whiskey, light American whiskey, and fresh Chilton County peaches from Alabama's Durbin Family Farms. And Hardhide strawberry whiskey tells the story of a small town famous for strawberry farming. A delicious natural strawberry infused 86 proof whiskey for whiskey lovers. Just look for the red and orange bottles in your favorite stores, bars, and restaurants. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. Our next topic is presented by Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Let's do a little bit of Ripley's Believe It or Not from Week 13. And starting with the big one, Devon Vele had a huge game, got over 90 yards, had a touchdown. Looks like just a maestro on those second chance plays. That was the thing he did best in Denver. Had the touchdown on one, had another long gain on one, that play on the sideline where they had to review it. Knee was actually down. Made the catch. I kind of think he's a real deal. Like as far as a guy that's going to be a contributor,
yeah.
Real deal. 9 for 90. No, but like a weekly 4 for 40, something like that. I kind of feel like I believe I'm a buyer.
I agree with you on that last part, especially. And it's funny during the leading up to the game, I think you specifically said if he can get like 4 for 54, like then he's worth what they paid for him. And as you guys were doing the live stream, you were like, he's up to 4 for 54. It was like almost the exact number. And then you were like, I mean, there's still time left in this game. If he gets up to like 6 for 70, then you're really talking something. And he did that. And then he kept going beyond that. So the reason I believe, there's 2 reasons why I buy it and made him a like fantasy football pickup this week is opportunity. The opportunity is not going anywhere. Yep. It is glaring how much opportunity he has on this team. We're seeing the same thing with Juwan Johnson. I kind of put them in the same boat. I would kind of project the same. If we're doing over-unders, kind of project the same numbers for Devon Vele and Juwan Johnson. The other thing is he had done it before, last year with Denver, and that was on a crowded team with no expectations, he made himself relevant. And he was the kind of guy who was catching, 4 passes for 50 yards a game and catching a touchdown every third game. So I think it was more of an anomaly when he wasn't doing that, and it was taking him a while to get involved, and I didn't know exactly what was going on. There is no reason not to expect him to be second in targets, to be catching the ball in pivotal moments. Now, look, there's going to be growing pains. We just talked about how he probably floated the route on the 2-point conversion and hurt the team by doing that. That wasn't perfect. They got to work on that. And he admitted, I mean, this isn't why he's here, but he was the one who missed the blitz pickup on the sack fumble too. So, I mean, there's a couple negatives on his mark. He's not arrived as superstar on the team, but incredibly promising. I don't know what took so long, but I expect more of it for sure.
Yeah, I buy in him as long as Shough's the quarterback. I think so. And when you look at the throw chart, like the PFF does, like they color in the zones where that he's throwing the ball, and it's like different shades of red, and it's like dark crimson, like the darkest color of red, right over the middle, and that's where Vele likes to play. He likes to go up the seams. Shough likes to find him up there, quick areas over the middle. As long as he's a quarterback, I believe in that aspect of it. And the other part of that too is, I've said this before, like almost like 30% of his production last year in Denver was second chance plays, scramble drills, and that's how Shough wants to play. I think with the quarterback who like sits in the pocket and doesn't do that, you're taking away some of the thing that Vele does well on the film study. Like you see him take off before like the quarterback even breaks the pocket. He has like a great ability to like see and anticipate that, and his movement skills on those are. It's like he's going while everybody else is still recognizing what's going on. And I think that makes him really good on those. I still don't think the best move in a rebuild is trading the 4th-round pick for a 27-year-old player. Sure. I think that's a bad move. I think you invested a 4th-round pick in a guy that, it's like, well, he's on a rookie contract. Well, you didn't get the first year of it, and you didn't get the first half of the second year. So a 4th-round pick for the back half of that, probably not worth it, but I think having him on the team is a plus. I still don't agree with the value of the trade, but I agree with having the player on the field and playing. And I always like when I watched him in Denver, that was my analysis. I like the player. I don't like the value. I think I still feel the same way today, but it went from being like the worst thing they could have done to just something that's like, I don't agree with this, but he's on the team, and boy, like Shough needs him. Like, because if he wasn't here, that's the other thing I see people all the time. Well, like, how do you evaluate? They don't have this, they don't have that, they don't. I think he has adequate weapons to evaluate him as a quarterback. And if he didn't have Devon Vele, boy, like I would feel quite differently. But Vele and Olave, with the way he's using Vele and the way Vele's showing up for him, Vele's showing up for him better than Rashid or Cooks did for Spencer or Tyler. Like, so that's a good piece for him. And I think, you need him right now to get that evaluation. So if you want to add that into the value of the trade, I think it starts to work out a little bit, even though I don't know that they had a plan for necessarily getting there and getting him going, but he's going now, and that's all that matters.
I was a little bit of a defender of the trade and the value of the trade because I thought this is what they were getting. Like, it was a horrible trade if it was a guy who couldn't even get on the field and couldn't even get targeted. I thought they were adding the big-bodied, middle-of-the-field receiver who was going to catch 4 passes a game to the mix. So if that's what he is, then I like the trade a little better. But I'm not starting or passionately behind any pro-trade arguments. Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just like if you're trading your 4th rounder, like if they traded a 4th rounder for a 27-year-old running back, it's kind of the same value. It's like I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't do that as my first move in the rebuild, but they need him right now, so they get off the hook a little bit. But I think, ideally you have 22-year-old players that you're trading for. If you're trading a 4th for that, you can have for a while. But they need him badly. They need him like very badly. If they didn't have him, they'd be completely screwed right now. Charlie Smith.
I want to say that I have a hard time believing it, but I think my evaluation on Charlie Smith is just wrong because I've done this for a long time, but I've never covered a guy who just started playing the sport. In the same month that I got my first eyes on him. Like, I am still a little warped by the growing pains I saw last summer and certainly the growing pains I saw this summer. But we're talking about a guy who has developed from what is this And what are those? Those are called uprights. All right, so I kick it between those uprights. That was 2 years ago. And now he's making a 56-yarder, absolutely nails in the middle of a game. So maybe he's just a true talent who is rapidly learning. And I probably would have lost a couple bets on Charlie Smith being in this position, making that kick. But now I'm really excited to watch him do it. And, my bet is he's going to make 78% of his kicks, just like Blake Grupe was doing, just like all 11 kickers that I covered when Sean Payton made me watch 11 different kickers in 11 years. But at least this one is fascinating in how much he has developed in just 2 years, and I hope he earns the right, and they have the patience to stick with it for a little while, because he's become one of my favorite things to watch for the last 6 weeks now.
As good as a field goal was, like the helicopter onside kick was crazy,
incredible.
Yeah, like that's a very hard thing to do, and he came in and just did it. I'm just going to take the wait and see on this one. It's not that I either believe or don't believe. I wouldn't feel comfortable shortening this story. He got himself here and he got himself in that position. So I'd be an idiot to doubt him.
Yeah.
I just got to see him do it. Like any other kicker in the NFL that, is coming in second game. Let's see what he can do from here. I don't know. Like, I wasn't expecting him to miss when he went out there, though. Like, I wasn't like, boy, he's gonna botch this. I was like, he's probably gonna drill this. Like, so when I seen him out there, I kind of had confidence in him. So I don't know what that says. Maybe I do believe in him. I don't know. I'm going to go believe until I don't have a reason to believe. It's just like he's beating the odds. And if I'm going to bet on someone to beat the odds, I'm going to bet on a guy that got here from Ireland and hit a field goal in a freaking NFL game. Like, so
drilled it.
Yeah.
Drilled it.
So yeah, I'm with you. I wasn't expecting it, but you know what? I'll believe. I'd rather be optimistic than pessimistic on Charlie Smith. And look, I hope he does it, because it's an amazing story. Like, I hope he just keeps knocking these things down. Cam Jordan.
I believe he can keep doing what he's been doing. I really do. I mean, he knows how to sack a quarterback when the opportunity is there. He said the first one was free because Brian Brzee was the one who got the pressure and he cleaned it up. I think the 2 sacks a year was an anomaly for him, and 6 sacks a year is totally reasonable. He's only playing 55% of the snaps. That's all they're going to ask of him. That's all they should be asking of him. But I think he gets 3 more sacks before the season is over, like one every other week. I really do.
It's crazy that he's put himself in a position to where on a rebuilding team, you're like, they should probably keep him around at the right price.
Next year?
Yeah, at the right price.
And he'll come back for the right price. He dropped his salary from $12 million to $6 million. Now he's earning a lot of it back in incentives with all these sacks. But he had the chance to leave and he chose to stay here, and he knew exactly what he was signing up for, and he's not scared of it. He's happy to be in that locker room, and I think he's good for that locker room. So I wouldn't mind it at all. I mean, I hope their number 1 pick in one of the next 2 years plays his position, and that's who he can be helping to guide. But I don't mind him being the third guy that's playing 50% of the snaps and rotating into the mix.
Yeah, they desperately need another one.
Yeah.
They desperately need another one. What about Kool-Aid? I'm buying on Kool-Aid too. I think I buy on Kool-Aid's arrow being up in general. Like, I think there's going to be more highs and lows. I'm up on that in general. I think he played a good game. I think, you're going to have the ebbs and flows or whatever with him. But I think when it all balances out at the end of the season, there's probably going to be more good than bad. So I guess on that scale, I'm a buyer.
I'm glad he's having these moments. It's so important to this team. I mean, we talked about Kelvin Banks and Tale Fuaga in the opening segment. We've obviously talked about Tyler Shough too. Kool-Aid is the next most important player on this team. That is an asset that has to pay off. Like, he's a super talented guy that was basically a first-round grade that you got early in the second round. Is his ceiling number 2 cornerback, or you have 2 number 2 cornerbacks and no true number 1? And is he going to get beat deep in one-on-one situations against the top receivers in the league? Sometimes, yes. But if he's going to make up for that by making the game-changing interception, 4th down stop, and he's been doing this on a monthly basis, I think he plays with a ton of confidence. I think he's an asset. And I don't think he's going to be the next Marshawn, but I think he's an asset, and I think that's hugely important for this team.
All right, moving on to our next topic, presented by Shawberry Insurance. Some big college football games this weekend. You got the Big Ten Championship. You got the SEC Championship. In some ways, it kind of feels like the Saints are going to be picking high in the draft. It kind of feels like the draft in general, whether the Saints are taking a quarterback or not, it's going to end up getting defined by where the quarterbacks go. And this is a definition game, I think, for Fernando Mendoza. So in some ways, I feel like this might be the biggest game of the weekend for this organization, for the future, for what happens next.
For Saints fans. Like, we're doing a service here by putting this in our rundown. Make plans to watch the Indiana-Ohio State game.
Both of them.
Because, but especially if you only can pick one, Indiana-Ohio State, because I'm so fascinated, can Mendoza live up to the hype against a pro defense? I mean, Ohio State is so good that it's a huge test for Mendoza. Is he truly worth the number one pick in the draft? Is he like the Cam Ward of this year or whatever? No, it's real. He is going to be the number one pick in the draft, whether the Saints have that or another team that has that. And if he is, then that means the second guy, if Dante Moore comes out or if Ty Simpson comes out, then there's 2 quarterbacks in the draft or there's 3 quarterbacks in the draft. Like, if Mendoza can prove he's a number one pick, it just makes the whole draft class better, whether or not he's the Saints pick or not. And if the Saints are going to scratch together a couple wins at the end of the year and end up with the 4th pick and they're not in position to draft Mendoza, well, then watch Arvell Reese, who I think is the most exciting currently the most exciting non-QB prospect, and he's on the Ohio State defense. And to me, they're if I had to put odds on who the Saints are going to pick next year, I think they're number 1 and number 2 right now. There's so many months to go that are going to change that too. But if you want to catch up on the months of draft research that Nick has been doing with his college trips on the weekends, and you just have time for the Cliff's Notes version, just watch this one game this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing with Mendoza, I think if he plays well this weekend, he has a chance. It's not like I think he has a chance of being more real than Cam Ward. Like, it's no longer a projection. It's no longer if he does that, then this happens. Like, no, his football acumen is through the roof. He has a really good arm. I think he's really good at a lot of different things. He just really hasn't had that huge test. And if he goes out and he beats Ohio State, it's not just Indiana's number 1. Mendoza's the Heisman winner, and he's the number 1 pick in the draft. And he has that in front of him. He's only played Oregon. He went out there, threw a pick, came back, battled back, won the game. His other signature win is Penn State. Penn State's like the worst team in the world right now. But he battled back in that game. So
barely beat Iowa. Barely beat Iowa. You can't call a signature win. I mean, because nobody can look at
that Iowa game, man. The cover 2 throw against Iowa was like, if you want to see why, like, if you want one moment, like, this is why I dropped this guy. That throw in that game was unbelievable. But yeah, look, it's a huge game for him. And then Ty Simpson too. I think Ty Simpson right now, with the way he's playing, I know a lot of people put him in that mix. I think that other game, the SEC game,
sure,
he's got to play. I think he's playing himself back into college right now. Like, the last 3 weeks have been kind of spotty. The Iron Bowl, like, he battled back, showed some grit, made a couple throws, but overall not a good game. 2 weeks before that, too many turnovers. All of a sudden, I think that he's someone that's looking like he should be going back to college. Dante Moore's trending like he's getting better and better as the season goes. As a 20-year-old, that's what you want to see. Mendoza, though, is the guy. And look, even if the Saints are staying with Shough, if he is the number 1 pick and people are battling for it, that defines the draft. And, like, who's going there. Someone's jumping up. The Titans are moving back. There's a quarterback off the board. And then, you can get your Arvell Reese. Carnell Tate, the wide receiver, another guy that might go top 5 in this draft. There's so many people. Caleb Downs, they have the cornerback, Davison, I can't say his last name, Biguson. Like, he could be a pick early in the second round. Caden McDonald's a defensive tackle that's probably going to go within the first 50 picks. Sonny Styles, a linebacker, he's probably a top 25 pick. There's just so many guys in this game. Caleb Downs, like, we'd be remiss not to answer him.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best player in this draft. And then Indiana has Elijah Surratt. Like, he's probably someone the Saints should be looking at 34, 35 if they're picking. They don't get the wide receiver. Like, there's probably 40 guys that are playing on Saturday in between these 2 games that are going to be drafted in the NFL draft, which is, it's an unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's how the game is now, though, with the portal, and like everybody transfers to these schools.
Consolidated.
No, it's exciting, man. This is like, if you like football, this is a huge game. I have no idea which way it's going to go. I like Mendoza a lot. I feel like I've been disappointed by him in some of these moments where I've wanted to see it. This is a big one for him, and if he lands the plane, man, like, he's got everything, and like all this talk about like the class stinks or whatever. No, if like he beats them and proves it, like he is, to me, he's as polished as anybody over the last couple of years that's come out.
I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, super excited. Super excited. All right, we're going to hit a break. We'll be back with the question of the day. Are you ready to buy your first home, wondering if now's the right time to refinance, or maybe you're thinking about getting into real estate? Whatever play you're trying to run, the pros at MortgageBros.money have the game plan. If you're a first-time buyer, the Mortgage Bros will break down every loan program, help you build a budget that works, and even check if you qualify for 100% financing or down payment assistance. They'll guide you every step of the way, because buying your first home shouldn't feel like a Hail Mary. Heard that rates have dropped and thinking it's time to refi? Don't just guess, get real answers. The Mortgage Bros will review your situation for free and tell you if it's time to make a move or keep waiting for an even better rate. And if you're ready to start investing in real estate, don't let that old 20% down myth stop you. The Bros can show you a home hack that might get you up to 3 doors to rent with little to no money down. Here's the best part. The Mortgage Bros work with you for free. You'll never pay them a penny. They're not bankers, they're brokers. That means if your loan doesn't close, they don't get paid. So they're just as invested in getting you approved as you are. Because let's be honest, signing up for a 30-year loan without a pro on your team is like trying to run the offense without a playbook. You don't need to know every role in the mortgage game. Your pros already do. So go to mortgagebros.money. That's mortgagebros.money. And let the bros be your pros.
Score big with kickoff combos at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company. Don't pass on your choice of our seafood combos or our slider specials. Served with a side of garlic herb fries. Run in now for specials starting at $9.99 at New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company.
I got hurt in a car wreck. Why should I get Gordon?
Because when you're hurt, you need money. And I fight for the people of Southeast Louisiana every day. I got a client who injured their neck in a car wreck, $250,000. Another client was hit by a big truck and needed back surgery. I got them $700,000, and they deserved every single penny.
That's what I'm talking about. Why wouldn't I get Gordon?
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, just call me, New Orleans. Get it done.
Call 504-800-8888.
You ever take a bite of something and immediately think, yeah, I'm coming back for this? Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant just added some new dishes, and man, they crushed it. The shrimp and crawfish pistolettes, golden and stuffed with bold Cajun flavor. Fried oyster tacos, crispy, fresh with the perfect kick. And the soft shell crab Alfredo, creamy, rich, and absolutely worth the order. They're open 7 days a week, and they deliver late. Bobby Hebert's Cajun Cannon Restaurant. Delicious food, superior service. Whether you are a local New Orleanian or a fan in town for the game, get your pre- and post-game fired up at Aaron Rose. Local chaos and local love for the black and gold. Wake up and live with daily drink specials, mimosas, screwdrivers, Bloody Marys, and hot or frozen Irish coffees, all just $3 or $4 between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Aaron Rose, half a block from Bourbon Street in the French Quarter, 811 Conti Street. Attention Saints fans, don't let pests and termites invade your home field. Trust the team at Red Pest Solutions to tackle those unwelcome visitors. Call the Red Man today for unbeatable pest and termite control. Score peace with no pest. Visit redpest.com, REDDPEST.com. Welcome back to NewOrleans.Football. It is now time for the Get Gordon question of the day, presented by Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Question today is from Alex to Mike. He said, hey, Mike, any thoughts on more relinquishing play calling duties, or is it too early to entertain such a route for now?
Fair question, because of the struggles they've been having. And we've seen even Sean Payton say in certain years, I feel a lot better if I can hand that off and concentrate on being the head coach of the team. But my answer to this is no way can Kellen Moore do that. Like, it's his own death sentence if he does that. He is here for one reason only, and it's his offensive acumen, and he needs to prove that he has offensive acumen. He needs to prove he has his own answers. If he's not your play caller, then he's just here to be your head coach. I don't think that's his strength, and I don't think that's why he was hired. I think he has to figure out the play calling if he wants to have a career as an NFL head coach.
You just did what Mendoza needs to do against Ohio State this weekend. You landed the plane, no notes, nailed it. That's going to do it for today's show. Appreciate you guys for watching. We'll talk to you next time.